If you think that passing your NCLEX is the only requirements that you need to become a registered nurse, well, sad to say, it's just one of the requirement. Passing your NCLEX is not just the requirement to become a registered nurse. Now, if you're starting your journey of becoming a registered nurse here in Canada, specifically in the province of Ontario, then this video is for you. For today's video, I would like to share with you and talk about 8 requirements of how to become a registered nurse. So again, guys, here in Canada, we have different provinces, and different provinces comes with different nursing regulatory body with set of requirements that you need to comply. Now, these 8 requirements that I'll be mentioning will be specifically in the province of Ontario. So it is very important for you to ask yourself and to do your research that if you wanted to become a registered nurse in Canada, is it in the province of Ontario, Nova Scotia, Alberta? Go to the specific nursing body on that province, look at the set of requirements that they require. So here in Ontario, where I myself is a registered nurse, I am glad and happy to share with you because a lot of things have changed. And I think if you're planning your journey of becoming a registered nurse, coming here as an international student, pursuing your career, pursuing nursing, then this video is for you. So let's get started. So requirement number 1 is your nursing education. Of course, this is self-explanatory. You need to have your nursing education before you start everything. Now, if you're an international educated nurse, meaning you have your nursing degree outside Canada, then you have to undergo process which it is called educational credential assessment. Same as me, I am a registered nurse. I took my Bachelor of Science in Nursing in the Philippines. I came here to Canada, so I am considered as an international educated nurse. Now, for us, international educated nurses, we need to make sure that our education meets the Canadian nursing standards. So that is why the process of educational credential assessment is required. So in short, they're going to assess our education if it's equivalent for a Canadian education. And through that, I've already made a different video explaining about the changes. So kindly watch that. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Watch my different video about educational credential assessment because previously it was NNAS, but now there's different other educational assessment that you could go through to get your education assessed. Second requirement is evidence of safe practice. Now, to meet these requirements, you need to demonstrate that your knowledge and your skills are current, meaning you're able to function as a nurse. You need to have an experience that you work and function as a nurse within the past 3 years. Now, in my case, way back before, like this is one of the changes that they made. Before, it was within the past 5 years, but now it's within the past 3 years. So, for example, your last experience is 2020. So that will only be valid until 2023. So before it's 5 years, then this time it's only 3 years. I will make a separate video specifically talking about evidence safer practice. There are changes, so kindly check the website. I will give you the updates every now and then. So if your experience is past 3 years, there are pathways to meet this requirement. Third requirement is registration exam. This is simply means that you need to pass your NCLEX exam. If your education is comparable for RN, then you're going to take NCLEX. If it's comparable for RPN or LPN, you need to pass your regulatory exam for practical nurse. Fourth is jurisprudence exam. So jurisprudence exam is an online test that would test your knowledge when it comes to Ontario nursing laws as well as ethics and professional standards. So this is an open exam, open book exam, so don't worry too much about this. I will also make a separate video about jurisprudence exam. Now, fifth requirement is transition to practice. Now, I'm going to be honest, this is a new requirement and I personally never had this before. But the purpose of this requirement is that This was developed by examining common challenges that the new nurses are facing in the practice settings. So, this includes adjusting to the level of autonomy expected in the practice setting and understanding the patient's right to make informed decisions about their treatments. And this will also provide applicants with specialized knowledge that helps them understand the responsibilities and expectation of nursing in Ontario's unique healthcare environment. Now, depending on your situation, you might need to have a CNO approved transition to practice course. So, this will help international educated nurses for us to understand the Canadian healthcare systems as well as professional expectation as well as nursing practice in Ontario. I will also make a separate video about this, specifically talking about this requirement that you need to meet at this time. Six is English language proficiency. Now, again, you might need to take IELTS or CELBAN. I made a separate video about how I was able to waive my English proficiency without taking those tests. But yes, we needed to comply this one. We needed to prove that we're proficient speaking English when it comes to reading, listening, speaking, and writing. Because again, as a registered nurse, we are constantly at the bedside, communicating with the doctors, with the healthcare workers. And so, yeah, it is part of the requirement. So, if you haven't watched my separate video about how I was able to waive my English proficiency, kindly look at my playlist. Is authorization to work in Canada. Now, you need to have a legal authorization to work in Canada. So this could be Canadian citizenship, a permanent residency, or you need to have a valid work permit. Work permit means it could be an open work permit. It could also be a postgraduate working permit. In my case, I have a postgraduate working permit because I was an international educated nurse. So I studied here in Canada. I was able to have a postgraduate working permit, and I used that status to be able to stay here in Canada. Now, I wanted to make this an emphasis. I do have a TikTok, so if you can follow me in my TikTok account, Alex Gears as well. I've been receiving questions when it comes to moving here in Canada, pursuing your career here as a registered nurse since you're an USRN. Because again, I know that the US bulletin takes forever to move. And so Canada, which is close to United States of America, is one of the options. But unfortunately, Canada's immigration doesn't give visa for you to come into Canada to work as a nurse. Unlike US, wherein you have a TN visa, they do have EB3 visa. You know what I mean? US immigration would provide that for you to enter US as a USRN already. That journey is different when if you pursue your nursing career in Canada versus in the United States of America. I've been receiving a lot of questions about this, and I really also wanted to make a separate video when it comes to this situation or this requirement because it is kind of confusing, and you know, sharing you my journey would also give you some knowledge and enlightenment about your future plans when it comes to becoming a registered nurse in the States or in Canada. Last but not the least is character, conduct, and health. CNO wants us to demonstrate that we do have a good character, that we are professional, and that our health could allow us to work safely as nurses. They will also check our criminal history. Those are the 8 requirements, and I hope this gives you clarity when it comes to your journey of becoming a registered nurse. Remember that everyone's situation is different, so always check the CNO website. And if you like this kind of video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you in my next vlog. Thank you. Bye.